You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more.
Well, what up, man? This is your boy Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders podcast. And today we have a return guest. That's a dope project. We've seen him before. He was talking all about Mr. McGregor. That's right, Tank McGregor. All right? The dopest and most violent comic book character out there. Now I'm gonna play. He ain't violent. He cool. He chilling. He ill. He indie. And guess what? It's fire. But guess what? I got my man back today because he has a new story about a tank out there that's currently on Kickstarter. And you know what, folks? We got to put our bank behind this. I know it's tax season, money coming in, everybody's pay week. Don't be lying. All right. We got this fire book from this amazing creator. I'm going to be showing some dope stuff. We're going to be learning about what he did before, lessons learned, the new project. This amazing comic book creator, writer, the one, the only, Mr. Reynaldo Garza. How you doing?
Hey man, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Nah, brother, yeah, I seen you, but I've been seeing you on the interwebs. I've been seeing you doing your thing. I've been seeing you kicking ass and marketing and telling us about this awesome book, not just the last book, but this dope new project out now on Kickstarter for people ready to fund. So, for people that, hold on. Let me put you on that main screen because that is some screen porn right there. Look at that beautiful looking book. Wait, look, let me see the side of that. Oh, look at it, and it's thick too. Oh my God.
It's very thick. Look at that.
Girls is a very thick book. If you like them thick.
It's got girth.
Yeah, a lot of girth. Wepa, Dios mío. All right, Ray, talk about it. Let's get into it. For people unfamiliar with yourself, and if they are unfamiliar, shame on them. But let's get them up to date. Let them know who you are, where you hail from, and what is Tank McGregor.
Yeah, so my name is Reynaldo Garza. I am originally from Nuevo Laredo, Mexico, but I'm currently residing in Austin, Texas. I am a commercial director, and as a hobby, I make comic books, although I'm trying to flip that so I could be like, as a hobby, I make commercials, and as a job, I make comic books, but it's not there quite yet. I am the creator of Tank McGregor. You can see more Tank McGregor at the website, which has been flashing right now, tankmcgregor.com. Tank McGregor is a comic book about an intergalactic bounty hunter who just goes on adventures. He's a kick-ass mofo, sort of based on the action heroes from the 80s and 90s that I used to watch growing up. He's sort of like a no-nonsense, shoot first, ask questions later kind of guy.
If you shoot first, how can you ask questions later?
That's why it's so ridiculous. You can shoot out the kneecaps and still ask questions. You don't have to kill the guys. Man. That's fine. And so I'm on my second book right now, Tank McGregor. I finished my first book a few years ago, and I just recently finished volume 2, which you can support today on Kickstarter.
All right, so talk about lessons learned from that project, because you were here a while back when the first volume was out there working. What did you learn from that project that you're applying to this brand new one before we start showing it off?
So much, man. I mean, in terms of the creation of the actual book, layers. When I drew the first one, I didn't really separate anything into layers in the software. So it was all like on the same layer, if that makes any sense. So when it came time to promote it and actually like extract bits of art from the book, I couldn't separate bits of art from, like, say, the word bubbles or the text. So it just looked really messy. Yeah, I couldn't just like show up like, hey, look at my art. Like the art had all this like text on it, So this time around, I realized I have to like bring everything up in layers so I can separate and manipulate everything in a better, more easy way. I learned more about the colors, and the first time I did it, I sent it out to a colorist, and he returned with like the amazing colors from book one, but I wasn't sure for as much direction as I gave him. I wasn't sure what he was going to come back with. Now, when I was drawing the second book, I knew how he worked. So I knew like, oh, this is going to be really rad for him to color, or this is going to be really cool for him to do. So I felt more free and more like more creative in like my setups and my locations. And I'm like, oh, he's going to have a blast with this one, things like that.
How did you figure that out, though? How did you notice that was something you needed to work on from the first project to this one?
Well, because in the first one, I would not think about, say, setting, right? So I would like establish where I was at in the scene, but then when people would be talking and their actions and everything, I didn't really have any backgrounds. I just had like the foreground characters doing their actions. And once the colors came back, I realized that it looked really empty in a way that it didn't when it was black and white. When it was black and white, I was just like, oh, the art's cool. When the colors came back, suddenly the page looked empty because it was just flat colors, So going into this time, I was able to better see my panels where I needed to have a bit of background. I need to establish what angle we're at now. Is this a low angle, high angle? Am I going to be seeing the ceiling in the back? Am I going to be seeing what, So it opened my mind more to what's behind the frame and stuff like that.
So when you're working on that, how did you navigate that then, that learning curve? How did you learn to fill in those areas where you felt, how did you feel about it, as you were doing it? Figure it out.
I definitely felt better. I mean, I started paying attention more to other comic books by fellow creators that I know here in Austin, and also by professional, not that these guys aren't professionals, they're all professionals, but by more established, like, comic creators, and just reading all their stuff and seeing when they choose to be very detailed in their backgrounds and when they choose to hold off on the detail, and it matters a lot where you want the eye to go. Depends on what you have in the background and whether you have your foreground, with thicker lines, thinner lines, So it was a learning curve, and really I just learned by doing, man. I just started drawing this sucker, and from page 1 to page 175.
You're killing me. You're a tease, bro. I keep seeing that. I want to read that. That's something that'll take my time. Smoke a blunt in the back and just see what tech. Oh my God! Look at those vibrant colors, folks. What a tease! What a tease! This is what they done outside of us, yo. RG, man. Listen, folks. Yeah. If there was a comic book striptease club, I think Ray would be right in there, just flashing pages, look, and look away, like for dollars. For $1, you can see another page. Manny, how dare you? So, talk about the story then that from this last book to this new. Tell me, when did this new story develop in your head before I start showing off the goodness in this awesome intro video, folks? You got to check out for the campaign. But talk about the seeds of the story. When does this develop in your head for you to continue Tank's story?
The story started coming out almost immediately after I finished the first one. So Tank McGregor and the Mechanical Menace was the first book. And that book, Tank McGregor is a down on his luck bounty hunter hunting down a sex robot, So it was this pretty self-contained story. And once I finished it, I was tired and I was like, that's it, I'm done. I don't think I'll do another comic. Within the week, I was like, oh, I have a pretty good idea. And I just started, kind of like formulating, like letting it brainstorm in my head. And I had a title. I knew I wanted the word Colossus in the title for some reason. I just felt like, now I want to make it big. I want his challenge to be colossal, something Colossus. And the title originally for a long time was The Gentleman Colossus, because it just felt kind of irreverent and weird to me. I ended up on Cosmic Colossus because it was a lot more sci-fi. But once I had the title, then I knew I wanted it to deal with like gods and religions and the clashing of religion with science, and like what would win out, and how Tank fits into all of it. A guy who's just very like neutral with the whole thing, he just wants another job. So it just kind of like went from that, and I didn't have a finished script. I just kind of went very organically, and I knew what scenes I wanted, and I knew where it was going to end, and I was just kind of letting it happen. And it was beneficial and detrimental to the whole process. Beneficial because I was pretty free to be as crazy and wild as I wanted. Detrimental because after a while, I realized that I kept writing myself into corners, and I had to back out and basically delete a bunch of pages that I'd done because they were leading me to areas that I couldn't continue. You know, I had to let it guide it a little better.
Okay.
You know, so
I gotta ask here because you're saying the class. Do you consider yourself a religious man, or are you a science man, or are you in the middle? When
man,
you were like,
that's a deep question, but I think I let it all out in this book. I mean, obviously, I go both ways. I'm not against. Well, I would like to say that I'm a spiritual person, but not so much a religious person. How about that?
okay.
You know?
I understand that. I understand. Listen, Latinos understand that 100. You know, espiritual contra religioso. There's definitely a big difference there. You know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and obviously, I mean, I am a big believer of science and all that. In the book, I sort of have Tank McGregor. I mean, science fiction. You know, it's all science.
Yeah.
So in the book, Tank McGregor, he encounters the society that is almost completely based on a theological society. They're all religious, you know, and the thing they hire him for is they want him to find their God. Because in this society and it's these people, these green alien looking people right here, their society, they worship a literal God that they keep in their basement, basically. You know, they have the body of their God in their underground. And at one point somebody steals the body. So they hire Tank to go find their God. And they're like, you have to go find our God. So it becomes like this sort of ridiculous premise, but it does have like undertones of like theology and philosophy and asks a lot of weird, deep questions wrapped around this like crazy sci-fi story, you know?
Why am I thinking about this? Is like Weekend Bernie's, but with God.
I mean, yeah, sure. That's a great analogy.
Yeah, this just sounds funny. You know, you folks, you know, we're talking about teasing, you know, I want to bring in the campaign. Look at that. We got the video ready to go, folks. So check out this dope video about the campaign. Get a little familiar. We're going to start getting more teasers, more insight into the campaign and where Ray's mind is going to, because this man is a sicko, but the type of sicko that we need in our lives today, folks. Food entertainment, baby. Check it out. Tank McGregor Kickstarter. Be nice to hit play, right? I love it. Woo! Woo! I love it. Oh shit. Oh shit. I love that video. That was hysterical. Great job. Man, funny.
That's my brother, actually.
Oh, where? That's your bro?
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
So what?
Is he a comic book fan, or were you just torturing him?
Yeah, no, he's a comic book fan. Yeah. Yeah. He also likes
what's his name?
Angel.
Angel Garza?
Yeah, Angel Isaac Garza, yeah.
There we go. Big shout out to Angel. Great job on the video. You made me laugh. You're hysterical, bro. When are we gonna see the Garza Brothers movie line now?
It's actually already out, man. We both made a movie back in 2009, I think.
Stop lying. What?
Yeah, dude,
give me the name right now, because I gotta watch this today.
You can watch the trailer online, but you can't really find that movie. You can't find that movie anywhere, really. It's
Send that shit to me, bro. Come on, bro. Let me check it out, bro. Don't tease me like that.
It's called Anywhere Texas. So like if it were to say like Anywhere, comma TX, and
Oh,
it
what?
was just a. I made a movie when I was like, shit, man. What was I? I was like 27. I didn't know what I was doing.
It's all right. Listen, but the journey is the journey, and you're gonna take over the industry eventually. Don't you worry. Especially with this type of humor, you're making it fun. It's mixed. I mean, talk about this. I mean, let me also bring up the Kickstarter on the page now and scroll down. I mean, talk about this artwork, man. The team building the story. You said that you developed this from the moment that the last project ended. So how quickly were you able to put this together? Because you're showing me a finished book already on hand, while we still have a live Kickstarter, folks, with 47 backers, 5 days to go. Come on, people. I mean, out of $1,000 goal, they're at 1,800. Woo, baby! But we gotta get more out of that, a whole lot more with 5 days to go. So talk about it, man. I mean, how quickly did you start like making this goal from the last project, bro?
Yeah, like I said, I started almost immediately, and from beginning to end, from the moment I put pencil to paper or digital and finished the last word, it was like 3 years, like 2.5 to 3 years.
What?
Yeah, man, it took a while. And that includes like times when I wouldn't draw for like a few weeks. I would just get like lost, or I wasn't feeling it, or everything that I would do just didn't come out right, or I was stuck in the story. I couldn't crack it.
Let me stop you there just for a moment, because that's something that I think that a lot of creative people, face, right? Those lapses, those moments where fuck, I don't, I stop. How did you overcome that? How did you overcome those moments to continue pushing on?
You have to let go. You have to like stop and not freak out that you are stopping. You gotta like occupy your mind with other things, and then like the writer's block will stop. Honestly, like it'll come to you when you're in the shower, when you're playing a video game. At random moments you'll like have that aha, like, oh shit, like that's how I like wrap this into that.
Now, what based on what you said, I'm picturing one of two scenarios. You either flinging your controller. Oh my God, I have an idea. I need a pen. Or you're running out the shower naked, not mattering who the hell is in the house. I have an idea. Tell me that happened. That is a story.
Both of those, yeah.
I
have my little.
Shit.
I got my notepad on my phone, man, so it's on me at all times. So whenever I get an idea or figure something out, I know I gotta write it down, because I will forget.
Listen, bro, I hear you, man. Can you admit that you talk to yourself then? When you create.
100%. I talk to myself all the time when I'm driving, when there's no one around. I'll have entire like fights, like not with myself, but like I'll like fight with like a fictional person, like while I'm driving in the car, like imagining how that fight will go, and like I end up winning or whatever. You have to, yeah. I heard that's a symptom of like ADHD people. I have never been diagnosed. I don't know if I have it, but apparently people with ADHD talk to themselves a lot in the car.
Well, if that's the case, then shit, I must be suffering that motherfucker hardcore. All right. So talk about what Tank is really up to, man. Like, last episode, oh man, look at this. Woo! Look at these pages, bro. Talk about. I think you leveling up for real. I mean, I'm looking at this particular page right here. I mean, it's artsy. It's so artistic. Like, what the hell is this, bro?
That's a planet-sized. Well, they're inside a planet-sized supercomputer that just knows everything about everything. And that computer, I figure eventually at some point it started stretching its face out to look more human, because they wanted to look human. But that's the administrator of the planet. They basically go there because they need to figure some shit out, and this planet knows everything, so they have to go ask it directly. The only caveat is that this computer guy, he'll only answer you if you tell him something he doesn't know. So he knows everything, but if you tell him something he doesn't know, he'll answer your question. It's sort of like a give and take. So that's where that conflict lies.
Okay, I gotta ask you, as a writer, sci-fi guy and all, why do humans always assume that whatever creature we see elsewhere will always try to look human? Are we that egotistical?
You know, maybe. But I misspoke actually. I kind of leave it open. I'm not sure because I myself not sure really. Maybe he used to be human, and that's just the way he
Oh,
evolved. He started putting
oh,
mechanical stuff on himself, or maybe he was a
mhm.
computer that decided to look more human. In the comic, I kind of like leave it open to interpretation.
I
So it's
love
whatever you want it to be. In my head, I think he used to be human, and he just started like adding more shit to himself, and the only thing that remained was his face, and just kind of stretched it out.
oh man, poor guy. Yeah, está no cuero, pobre. I hear you. I hear you. And look at, bro. Man, where do you come up with the designs, these colors? I mean, look at this thing over here. This just looks horrible. Reminds me of Starship Troopers. For
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah, right on. Yeah. Well, that I must have been reading like a lot of H.P. Lovecraft at the time that I drew that because I had like giant cosmic tentacle monsters in the brain. I'm like, I gotta have my
yeah,
cosmic tentacle monster in this thing, man. So yeah, so I just drew it, and I don't think I gave Michael Woods is my colorist. I don't think I gave him direction on what to draw. I may have even told him to make it green. I don't think, but he chose that color because he saw it better that way, and he did a good job, man. Because it's got like this weird pink fleshy color. You know, it looks gross.
it does, man. That mouth, man, not something that's appealing. And then look at this over here in space. We got planets blowing up or whatever, rocks. I mean, violence galore. I mean, but you do everything on the book, bro.
Yeah, I did everything except the coloring.
Dude, bro. So this lettering is you right there.
Yeah,
Fire, bro. I love good lettering, man. Look at
thanks,
that.
man. I appreciate it. That
Fire.
page took a long time, man. Actually, that
Holy
one took even longer.
shit. What the fuck is going on here, son?
The battle scene, man. It's like
Whoa.
the not a big spoiler, but the big climatic battle scene. You know, that I knew I wanted like a 2-page spread of just like a giant battle where you can like go back to it every time you read the book, or every time you maybe not even read the book, you want to go back to those 2-page spread and just watch it, and just see everything and like find something new each time. You know, there's a bunch of little like hints and Easter eggs of everything in there. But I don't know if you ever remember reading like 300, the Frank Miller 300. He'd have
Absolutely.
these like giant battles with like Spartans and just like a bunch of Spartans, and it'd be chaotic. It's like I want that, so I try to emulate that. And that's what came out.
Yo, how long did this page take you, bro?
That one took me 3 days, I believe,
Oof, oof.
and I put a time lapse on my Instagram so you can see me like go like from one guy to
Oh, right.
another,
So
and then ink the
people
whole
can
thing.
view
Yeah,
you draw this on Insta.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Dope,
yeah.
dope, 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 dope. Oh, and who's shorty right there with the green hair?
Oh, that's in the book. Her name is Sin. That is actually a variant cover by the very talented Reese Jenkins,
Ooh,
who is currently writing a book called "Deuces Are Wild." That's the name of this
okay.
book, and his art is just spectacular. So, like, I called him up and I was like, "Hey, man, would you be interested in doing a variant cover for Tam McGregor?" And I gave him the book so he could read it. And he's like, "Yes, absolutely." That's what he came up with, man. He did a great fucking job. So
That's
that's one
what
of the rewards on Kickstarter. You can get the book with his variant cover on it.
beautiful. Yeah, talking about rewards. There we go. Can I play, Daddy? For yeah, you could play for $10. You get that digital copy, baby. I mean, 170 plus pages, yo, dude. 170, really, bro? I mean, for $10, that I think is the fucking deal of the goddamn century. Thank you, Ray. That 176 pages is the deal of the century for $10. Honest to God. So I
Glad
mean,
you
the
think so.
$20, bro. What? For $20, you get 176-page graphic novels. I've seen comic books that are 80 pages go for $20. To get double that, folks. Double that. Yo, this is why you gotta love indie, baby. Woo! Indie comics, baby. $20, you get digital and a physical. Yo, dude. That's insane. Why are you doing these crazy Ray prizes? It's like crazy Rays in the house, bro. I mean, what's the deal, bro?
Man, I honestly think that's what's fair. I mean, like, I want people to read it. I want to put it in people's hands. I want to make it as easy as possible for people to say, yes, I can afford that. Yes, I can take that, So, for just $20, and you can have, like you said, 175 pages. I am crazy.
That's insane, beautiful. And again, if you want to start digging into variants because you got to speculators, you guys are fans, that's $30. So again, you're getting a physical and the digital, which means that you get that physical copy if you don't want to smell the ink, even though I think you should. You can keep it packed up, and read that digitally and enjoy the madness of the mind of Senor Garza right here, all right? You could bring them both volume 1 and 2 for, wait a minute, why for $38 I'm getting both physicals? Stop lying.
Yeah, man. If you missed out on the first book, you want to catch up, you can read the first book and the second book and get them both for just $38.
Wait a minute. So how many pages is the first book?
125 or 122.
Yeah. Folks, do you hear this? You're getting 300 pages of comics in total for $38. That shit is insane, yo. And
yep.
whoa, yo, thank you. That's like 10 cents a page and shit, you know what I mean? Yo.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, for real, thank you. Wow, that's an amazing deal. That's a lot of content, folks. Think about this.
Honestly, man, like, I've always been more interested in people reading it and telling me what they think than actually, to be honest, than actually making any money on this. I knew straight up I wasn't going to make a lot of money, like, profit-wise.
This is why you're going to get blessed, Ray. The gods are with you, Ray. Trust you, me, they will be with you. That's wonderful. I think that I have never seen any value like that in my 341 podcasts. You're my 341st.
Oh, nice.
341 podcasts. I've never heard anyone offer that much content for that price value. I think that's value. I think it's beautiful. Thank you. I mean,
I heard it here first.
I'm totally impressed. I think that's an amazing price point to get that much content. You can't really walk into a shop nowadays and get that much content for that and walk out with that much content. So that's good. Independent folks. This is what I'm telling you. Please support. So not now. If you guys want to get some serious and we start getting some art prints, some more collectibles, $53. I am Death Incarnate. Jesus Christ, que nombre, bro. ¿Qué pasó?
That's actually I don't know if, like, not a lot of people get this because no one's commented on it. I think it was very clever. The tier names are just like the difficulty names for the game Doom.
Oh my God! I just recently spoke to John Romero.
Really?
Doom, yeah.
Oh, man.
He has a new book out, Doom Guy. And brother, Ray, you gotta read his story. You gotta read his story. This is the most outside the box story of success that you'll ever read in your life. I mean,
yeah, I will totally read that.
Additional roots, my man like can't really he came up and God bless.
Yeah, I love John Romero. I want to listen to that.
Bro. Yeah, it's John is the man. Yeah, shout out to John. A great Latino rep out there that, again, I was so proud. I may be Puerto Rican, but I support all my Latinos worldwide. And, to see
where's he from?
Yeah, he's Mexican and Yorkie. So he's Mexican and Native American, bro.
Oh, okay.
So he was raised up here in the States, and in an era where, unfortunately, like, I understand a lot of Mexicans, young Mexicans, where their family is like, no, don't speak Spanish. You gotta learn English and shit, like embarrassed of the culture because it's to fit in, which I think that's so bad. How are you? I'm interested in asking. Now that I mentioned that, how are you? Because I'm Puerto Rican. They encourage me to always talk Spanish. Is that I mean, you being where you're from, did they encourage you to like learn Spanish and speak in the culture or no?
Well, I grew up in Mexico for the first 18 years of my life. I
Oh,
left.
you had no choice.
Yeah, I had no choice. I studied in the U.S. though, so I would cross the border
Yeah.
like every day. So it
Oh,
was
well.
like at home. Yeah, at home speak Spanish. When I go to school, speak English, just back and forth. It's a
Oh,
lot harder nowadays.
you didn't experience that he experienced then because he was more up north, if you will, middle, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
he goes, it was very Chicano food and all, but it was
yeah.
American.
But I knew, man. I knew like not to talk to like my dad in English. Like I'm
Oh,
at
word.
home talking Spanish. Because I knew it would upset him.
You know what? That's crazy. My mom encouraged me in my Spanish. My dad was like, talk to me in English. Oh
Really,
shit. Yeah, yeah. So again,
it's good to have both.
I know. Yeah, I learned both. One force, one not so much. Hey, it is what it is. That's Latino culture, man. It's a little weird. So, oh, what? Wait a minute, bro. What are we talking about here? I ain't seeing a shitload of comics for $70. What are we talking about here, bro?
Yeah, man. For those who don't know, Tank McGregor is published under LKC. That's Lesser Known Comics, and
Woo, woo. Shout
that's
out.
right. Shout out to Lesser Known Comics and digital packs. You for that price, you can not only the Tank McGregor books, but a whole bunch of other comics in the LKC catalog. You can see there you get like Tights, Narita, Yuriko, either them or us. Like any genre you might be into, they have it, man. Like if you're into you have Bigfoot Knows Karate is in there. So you got like kung fu, Mad Max kind of stuff, horror, fantasy, superheroes. It's all there, man. You even got some manga.
I love it. I love it. LKC, baby. You get a digital starter pack for 70. I think that's an amazing deal. The Lone Star Gazer, the LKC Sci-Fi Action Pack for 93. The whole LKC starter pack. I mean, add-ons. 20 beans. That volume 1. You got nuke the space whales, bro. Why you want to nuke the space whales for? Aren't they an endangered species?
No, you're thinking about Earth whales. Space whales are actually a nuisance and terrible. You should support nuking them. Yeah, man, you don't know what space whales do. There could be like the Nazis of outer space, man.
Yeah, bro, I love this. This is so Starship Troopers. I get that sense like Tam McGregor lives in that world of Starship Troopers. And that
like really ultra fascist, like
yeah, just bugging out. Yeah. What is this? Send books to children's hospitals? Are you doing some stuff for charity? Talk about that.
So, Super Wicked White Cell Squadron was made by Doug Knight. That's his comic book. And Doug Knight was afflicted when he was a young kid. They found a tumor in the back of his eyes, which made him legally blind for the rest of his life. And he still draws comics, man. Like he makes full-on books. So he drew that. He colors it. He writes it.
Stop fucking with me. So he can't see. He's legally blind, but he drew this book.
Yeah. I believe he can he's got to be like this close to the thing to draw. So he's legally blind, but I don't know the extent of it. But so he did it, man, and he wanted to give back to children's hospitals, which is somewhere where he spent a lot of his youth at. So for $5, you will be able to send 2 Super Wicked White Cell Squadron books into the hands of children.
There we go. See, folks, independent comics doing good as well. I gotta keep stressing indie comics because from the big 2, you don't see stuff like this. They rather take your money, give you inferior product, make fun of you as fans. Apparently, indie don't do that. They support. They're real. It's some good stuff. I mean, art prints. What? Whereby? What's going on there? You got some Lady Luck. You get all those art prints for 15. Get some more info about the amazing press company that is Lesser Known Comics. And so you're using Comics Wellspring for printing?
Yeah, so Lesser Known Comics has a well, I'm not about a deal with Comics Wellspring, but we use Comics Wellspring for all our printing needs. Yeah,
And
they're a really cool company, man.
awesome. And folks, you see it on the side, yo, up to $139. You know, you can start as low as 10, but you're gonna get value for your buck. That campaign is in fact live right now, folks. Right there, you see it. I mean, they already surpassed the goal, but keep making more happen. Let's get to 2 racks. Let's get to 3 racks and 4 racks, baby. I mean,
5 days to go, baby.
That's it. So make it happen. The link is right there. It's also going to be in the notes. You know, make sure to click support. You know, it's pay week, it's tax week. Everybody's still getting checks. Don't be bullshitting me. So, you know, if you don't know what to spend on, I think getting over 170 pages of comic books, of comic book content,
it's a pretty good deal.
Insane. I mean, for the value. Again, let me show you how much right here again. You could get a print copy over 170 pages for $20. And if you really want more, you get 300 pages because you're going to get volume 1 and 2. This is about 300 pages of content right here for $38. I don't think you could find a type of... Dude, that's omnibus size. And you know it, folks, omnibuses of 300 pages don't be costing no $38. Them shits is easy 75 and up. All right, yeah. So I think this is an amazing deal. Support indie because Ray wants to get his story out, delve into the world of the mighty Tank McGregor, if you will. And yo, Ray, show off that book again. Yo, show me that book again. I mean, folks, look at that gorgeous book. What? Show off that girth. Hey, my God, you see what I'm saying, yo? What? Ooh. That is some self-porn, folks, right there. Look at that beautiful coloring. Look at those panels. Look at that. Look at that. What? Show that back cover. Show that back cover too. Epa, there we go, folks. This is it. That's the business, folks. Show the love. It's available now on Kickstarter. And again, the links are below. So what's up, homie? Any last words you want to leave us with, you know, from lessons learned to this new campaign? And why we gotta put our money back behind this one? Because I'm sure you got volume 3 already done too.
Not yet. I was actually taking a little bit of a break from Tank McGregor, but I'm working on other stuff. I want to have a little bit of palate cleanser from sci-fi, but I'm sure I'm gonna be getting back to Tank McGregor anytime soon now, man. I can't get away from this universe. I love the character. I love everything about the universe. So I'm gonna be sure writing it. And yeah, you know, follow me on Instagram at Tank McGregor Comic. You can see all the progress from the comic book there. You can see art and on Facebook, Tank McGregor as well. If you go to the Kickstarter page, you'll be able to see all the cool rewards. And yeah, man, every little bit helps. You know, it helps to send those comics out to you guys as soon as possible, and it encourages us to keep making comics and keep putting them out there for our fans. You know.
There we go. So any words of advice to the up-and-comers out there based on what you've learned thus far?
Sit down and draw. You'll be surprised, man, how many people like come up to me like at a comic book conventions and stuff, and they'll tell you like, oh, I have a really good idea, but I haven't done it yet. Oh, I have a really good story. Oh, I have a really good character. It's like, yeah, well, go ahead and do it. Like nothing's stopping you. You know, like sit down and like everybody has an idea. Sure, man. Like it separates people with ideas from people who like actually sit down and draw. So just sit down and draw, even if you think it's shit. You're actually doing it, you know. It'll get better. Just keep going.
Just get it done. Just get it done. You heard it, folks. Get it done. Get it done one last time. Check out the website, tankmcgregor.com. Follow on social, Instagram at Tank McGregor Comic, and on Facebook at Tank McGregor. And of course, the project, Tank McGregor and the Cosmic Colossus, live on Kickstarter right now, baby. Again, that book got girth, man. Let me tell you, and a dope deal at that. All right, thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Check out the rest of the family over at undercovercapes.com. All the amazing shows there, No Prize Podcast, Outside the Panels, the Film Crusade, K-Pop, Cosmos, and so much more. And please, if you like the content here, turn on those notifications, subscribe, share this with your friends. We're celebrating indie. If you know an independent creator that you think needs a spotlight, hit me up. Say, Al, you gotta talk to this homie or this homie right here. and we will get it done. All right? Hasta la próxima, mi gente. Later. Wepa!
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.